ready, Xander, take it away.
So let's start off with what is metal. Right? Metal is a genre of music that revolves around like a few key components. It's really distorted guitars, powerful drumming, and really throaty vocals. So this started around like the 1950s with blues artists actually. They started experimenting with really rougher tones that they got from next slide. So yeah, again, throaty vocals, distorted guitars, powerful drumming. Next slide. So these 1950s blue artists were experimenting with these really harsh tones that they were getting from Great Britain, as I said. And this harsher tone needed the rest of the band to catch up. So the drummers got more and more powerful to compete with the guitars, and then the vocals had to compete with that. So it all just got like, it's like a snowball effect, right? Next slide. So these are a few of like really early popular metal bands like Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple. They come from London, and Black Sabbath, they're from Aston, Birmingham. Next slide. So the early influence of metal. Right? Critics disagree over like who was like the first metal band. Americans will often go with Led Zeppelin. British people will often go with Black Sabbath, and then some people say Deep Purple. But what I'm going to be focusing on today is Black Sabbath. Next slide. I think we skipped one. Could you go back? Yeah, there we go. Black Sabbath. All right. So these guys are one of the people who really like brought like heavy metal to like the heavy metal scene, right? They were like the first like heavy metal band. Everybody was like rock with more power. These guys were like a metal band. So we're going to demonstrate that with Iron Man by Black Sabbath. Moving on to the meaning of metal, right? In the early eras, like this term heavy metal came from like the hippie era when it meant like heavy meant deep and serious, right? So these songs were about like, you know, normally songs in like the blues or like really early songs, they're all like happy, you know, like, you know, going up with my, you know, significant other to like a dance or whatever, right? This stuff is like real life, you know, the horrors of, you know, the day-to-day. Next slide. All right. This style of music really like swept up the industry with like popularity. Nowadays, it's really often you'll have even like the most normal pop artists singing about their troubles, right? But this is where it branched off from, was heavy metal music. A good example of that would be Master of Puppets by Metallica. This song was about the drug use effect on an individual's life, right? The band was going through some drug problems, and they wrote this song about it. The entire band collaborated on this one song about the master of puppets being drugs, and the puppets being the band members. So I'll have these two demonstrate that song for you. And that was the 70s and 80s of metal. Thank you guys.